yesterday. Now we say welcome to our Facebook and our YouTube community, our virtual friends that are joining us. And we would like to invite you to just drop a note in the comments section for Facebook and for YouTube to let us know where you're joining from. We're always interested in where our friends are connecting with us. And if you would also let us know the time that you're watching this video. We're just doing a little internal tracking to see where our viewership is and the times that you're watching. So we welcome you wherever you are to the virtual community that happens to be located in Monterey. We continue with our 2021 global theme, which is timeless wisdom and evolutionary vision. For the month of March, we have been exploring the overarching theme of being open to possibilities. And now for our talk today, March 28th, we're looking at the commitment to transformation. Part of my outgoing voicemail message says, I'm out having fun. And so as I was sharing with our community here, wherever you are, just have fun. You know, we each have our own definition of fun. So whatever yours is, just work it. You know, that is part of our commitment to transformation, because I believe that we're designed to enjoy life to its fullest, and fun certainly is a part of that. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to participate in a workshop titled Big Voice, Your Big Voice. And the content of the workshop and the course that follows it is finding your singing voice. And it was interesting, the presenters had us drop in the chat the degrees that we felt our voice, our singing voice was. And it ranged all the way from professional to can't sing. And so it was interesting to watch as people dropped there, and there were over 200 participants on this call. It was interesting to watch and see how they ranked themselves. However, there was an underlying theme that emerged out of that for me, and I share that with you, and I offer it as an affirmation statement. And it is, I am a one-of-a-kind, unique expression of me. I know some of us have heard that before in various iterations, but it was just really meaningful for me yesterday to have this awareness of this aha, if you will, that I am a one-of-a-kind, unique expression of me. And so in the process of having fun in this workshop, there were some other aha moments and takeaways that reminded me of the interconnectedness of all life. And just a few of those I will share with you. We don't always have to be presentation ready. It's easy to fall into this trap based on being taught that we always had to be our best at, and you can fill in the blank. But it was a nice reminder to me that I don't have to always be presentation ready. I remember someone shared with me a long time ago, it's like, you always have to be on. You never seem to be able to relax. You never seem to be able to have any fun. Well, I took that to heart. And I've decided it's okay if I'm not always presentation ready. So I just offer that to you as a consideration. Another takeaway from the workshop for me yesterday was one discouraging word can shut us down for what may feel like a lifetime. However, our belief in the dream or our belief in our vision can be reignited by one encouraging word or opportunity. And it's never too late. It's now. We're always creating. And even if it appears that one area of our life may be shutting down, there are multiple others that are opening up. And finally, we are a measurable field of resonance. And we've heard this in other forms also. We are a vibratory field. We raise our vibration. And as we raise our vibration, we raise our consciousness, we shift the vibrational level of the entire planet. We are a measurable field of resonance. And we have a greater experience of this each time we say yes to our contract that we came to fulfill in this life experience. And I'd like for you to put a little bookmark beside this statement. Each time we say yes to our contract, we came to this life to fulfill, because we will come back to this a little bit later on. And I offer this as a segue into our message for today, commitment to transformation. This month, our focus has been on opening to the highest idea of our lives through the practice of spiritual visioning. We open to the impress, or that direct download of spirit through visioning, and we tap into realms of possibilities that are far greater than we could even imagine for ourselves. Remember, in the visioning, we're tapping within, we're calling forth from within that which we already are, and we're just bringing it into that vibrational level that allows us to really live in close contact with the indwelling creator. Visioning allows us to transcend our limited and habitual thinking and align us with the infinite possibilities for our lives. Visioning is about personal transformation. And transformation occurs when we open the avenues of awareness and be receptive to the divine love, intelligence, and wisdom that is within us. That is another way of saying God within. And so as we open to the transformation, as we open to the avenues and become receptive to the divine love, intelligence, and wisdom of God that is within us, personal transformation takes place. The acts of releasing and embracing that we shared a couple of weeks ago is where the work that transforms our lives really takes place. And it is about a commitment to the practice of spiritual visioning. Committing to the vision is committing to transformation. And this brings us back to being that vibratory relevance, that vibratory presence that is in the world. And in connection with our overarching theme of evolutionary vision and timeless wisdom, the evolutionary vision for today comes from our Centers for Spiritual Living Global Vision Statement, which says, we see a world in which every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other. A world in which individually and collectively, we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. Or stated another way, we live as the highest expression of love, which is God. And the timeless wisdom for our message today, our inspiration for today, is expressed by our Science of Mind core principles, core concepts, and values. And the timeless wisdom is love. Love is the self-givingness of the universal spirit through its desire to express itself in terms of creation. Love is the impulse, and law is the way of creation. And so the key point in this summary is that the vision is already complete within the universal mind. Everything that we require is already inside of us, right here and right now. What it requires, though, is that we be willing and able, that we be a willing and able vehicle of the vision. And that is what is meant by the term to catch the vision. To catch the vision, to allow that vision to be ignited from within. And I offer the following illustrations for some of the components that we discussed during the month. Opening to the highest idea of God's vision for our life is remembering that we are called to a higher level of consciousness. We're called to that level of consciousness which realizes meaning it comprehends completely. Paraphrasing Ernest Holmes, there's a power for good in the universe, and it uses me. This is slightly different from what we're accustomed to hearing, in that there's a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. Ernest puts it this way: there's a power for good in the universe, and it uses me. And we access through the experience and the practice of spiritual vision. Visioning takes us beyond our personal desires and allows us to tap into the infiniteness of spiritual wisdom that is our own consciousness. We go beyond our personal desires and we tap into the infiniteness of spiritual wisdom. And by opening to the highest idea, we align our consciousness with our divine purpose, which is to love and express that love in our own unique way. And this reverts back to our timeless wisdom from our Science of Mind core concepts: love, the self-givingness of the universal spirit through its desire to express itself in terms of creation. So we are here to love. And I share this quote from Dr. Ernest Holmes, our founder, from his Sermon by the Sea, which was delivered in the Sulamar, August of 1959. And in that sermon, Holmes says, "We're talking, I trust, a vision, something beyond a hope and a longing, that the living spirit shall through us walk anew into its own creation, and a new glory shall come forth with the dawn." In other words, we are tapping into something that is beyond hope and longing, that we're opening to that living spirit within that will walk us into a new idea and a new expression of its creation. The second illustration I share this morning is a reminder that the practice of releasing and embracing is what allows the vision to be complete in the mind of God. Our work is to become a more effective delivery system. The vision is already a complete idea in the mind of God. Our work is to become a more effective delivery system. And there is an image that came to my mind. Sometimes my mind is being the jokester, and this was one of those times. When I saw this effective, we're become a more effective delivery system, I thought of us as little mini Amazons. You know, we have the package delivery from Amazon that shows up at different times in different places. We know that it's on its way. And so as we release and embrace the vision, as we recognize that we are a complete idea in the mind of God, and our work is to live this. That's what it means to become an effective delivery system. We live this. So we live our little Amazon experiences. This is where the personal transformation work begins. All spiritual growth is about letting go. The releasing of old ideas about ourselves and erroneous beliefs about life. This is where the work is. I know this is the continual work for me. This is where our transformation takes place. It's when we let go of those old ideas about ourselves and embrace, when we let go of the old ideas about ourselves and erroneous beliefs about life, we create that opening for the vision to manifest, and we embody it and we become it. We can only know what we experience and what we're willing to embrace in consciousness. And so in doing the work of releasing and embracing, we are transformed and we come into alignment with the vision. Dr. Michael Beckwith says this in an interview in the Science of Mind magazine in December of 1996. This was around the time when Dr. Michael was introducing the practice of spiritual visioning, which is very prevalent within our organization and is now used in spiritual settings throughout the entire planet. Dr. Michael writes this. This is recorded from that interview with him. Visioning is always for self-transformation. It is always to shift our perception of reality. The process goes on further. We just become bigger and bigger places for it to express through. This was the sentence that I really liked. We become bigger and bigger places for the vision, for this vision for our life, this highest vision for our life to express itself through. And this is what is the result of our practice, our practice, our practice, our practice. And the third illustration that I share is being committed and willing invites us to be open to allowing the highest idea to unfold. So we call forth the highest idea. We ask what is to be released, what is to let go. And then we ask, what am I committed to and what am I willing to be and become to allow the vision to take hold and unfold in my life? We commit to transformation by our willingness to do our spiritual work. We commit to our spiritual growth and transformation in order that the vision may unfold as us. Now, all of this may sound like, or you may say, you know, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work that you're asking me to do. There's a lot of time that's put into this. But I want to share this with you. The only requirement in all of this is to be willing to transform our consciousness and experience our transformation of life as well. The only requirement, I share again, the only requirement is that we be willing to transform our consciousness and experience our life transformed as well. And this is from Dr. Michael Beckwith's book, Life Visioning. The purpose of visioning is not simply about the narrow confines of personal fulfillment. It is an expansion of consciousness into the realization of our true self. And so remember, this is not about something that is narrow and specific. It's about expansion of consciousness. It's about really becoming the truth of who we are through the visioning process. And so in summary, as we release that which no longer serves us and does not serve the highest idea for our life, we embrace new ways of being and the vision unfolds organically. This is the beauty of the visioning process. As we relax into it, as we relax into just releasing, asking, what is it that I am to release? What is it that I am to release? What is it that I am to let go of? What is it that I am to embrace? As we relax into that, the vision unfolds organically. And this is the process of allowing and aligning with what already is. Another expression that many of us may have heard is where there is a will, there is a way. And when we apply this expression to spiritual visioning, it means that we don't need to make something happen. Where there's a will, there's a way implies that we are identifying perhaps a workaround to get something to occur that seems to be blocked. When we shift our focus and we shift our attention inward and we practice spiritual visioning, we don't have to make something happen. We simply rest in the awareness that the vision is being revealed and it is already complete. And I just want to exhale on that one. I don't have to make anything happen. All that I have to do, all that is required, it is that I relax and let go. And I rest in the awareness that the vision being revealed is already complete. And by committing to transformation, by being willing to do the spiritual work of releasing and embracing, we become beholders of God's grace unfolding in our lives. We become instruments of the divine, and we fulfill our life purpose. Remember at the beginning, I asked you to put a bookmark beside our life purpose is what we came here on the earth to do. Well, I want to come back to this now and conclude with another statement from the interview with Dr. Michael in the Science of Mind magazine of 1996. And in this interview, Dr. Michael says, all spiritual growth, 100% of it is about releasing and eliminating rather than attaining something because we already are it spiritually. I'll share that again. All spiritual growth, 100% of it is about releasing or eliminating rather than attaining something. We're not visioning to get something. We're visioning to open to the highest idea for our lives that already exist. Our call to action for this week, there are 3 questions that I am inviting you to just contemplate for this week. And I've asked our tech team to place those into the chat for us. The first question is, am I willing? Am I willing? The second question is, what does willingness require? What is required of me? And then the third question is, how do you understand Reverend Michael's statement on how we should apply visioning in our life? And the statement is, all spiritual growth, 100% of it is about releasing or eliminating rather than attaining something because we already have it spiritually. Are you willing? Are you willing? And what does that willingness require for us to be in that place of knowing that I don't have to attain something? It already is me. It is already expressing itself as me spiritually. All I have to do is release and eliminate that which no longer serves. And our affirmation for this week is, I relax and behold God's grace unfolding as my life. I relax and behold God's grace unfolding as my life. And so I invite us to pray together. Turning within to that place where the all good and the all knowing ever exist, forever exist, and is forever expanding because it is the one life, the one power, and the one presence. I step into the awareness that God is the only power in my life, and that there is nothing from without that can touch the perfect life of God within me. No past experiences have power over me. No personalities have power over me. No person, place, or thing has power over me because I am a divine expression of pure spirit. And as I step into this I am knowingness for myself, I affirm it, I declare it, I decree it for each one that is a part of this experience, that is a part of this virtual community known as the Monterey Center for Spiritual Living. And so each one that is viewing this video, viewing this time of celebration together, viewing this talk, I know that each one is a living expression of the vision The vision that says, I am whole, I am perfect, I am complete, I am enough just as I am. And to embrace that I am enoughness, I let go of. I call forth into my awareness, I call forth through the process of visioning that which I am to release, that which spirit is guiding me to release and to let go of. And as I let go of that, I create that opening. As it has often been said that the universe abhors a vacuum. And so as I create that opening for spirit to just move into and express itself through me even more fully into my awareness of what is already happening, then I become my greater yet to be. And I do the work that I have come into this life experience to do. And I do the work in joy, in play, in excitement, and in gratitude and in thanksgiving for what is continually being revealed to me so that I truly make a difference on this planet. And that I create a life that works for everyone exactly where they are, knowing that each one is a divine expression of pure spirit. And so as I recognize the love of God revealing itself in and as and through me, I recognize the same love that is revealing itself in and through and as each person that I interact with, in whatever way I interact with them. Whether I see something that is on the news, whether I am watching a movie, whether I am engaged with friends, whether I am engaged with someone who is providing a service, wherever it is that I find myself, because I am confident in knowing that I am the love of God, I see the love of God expressing in everyone, everywhere. And so I speak my word of blessing this morning for each one that has a prayer request that is held within the receptive place of the heart, knowing that the heart has the answers. And actually, the origin for the answers begin within the heart, and the heart sends a signal to the brain, to the mind, to take action. So that's why we're always invited to be in connection with the heart space, to be in connection with the heart space. And so it's from the heart that I know Spirit is saying yes to whatever the request is in our lives. The request for right to livelihood, the request for right and perfect housing, the request for perfect friendships, the request for perfect partnerships, the request for perfect health, the request for solace and comfort during a grieving process, the request for just being the place where God shows up. Let me know, let me continually know, let me always know that I am the place where God shows up. And so in gratitude for this and for so much more, I release my word, I release this talk into the divine activity of love and law. I know it is done, I know it is complete. And so I just let it go, allowing it to be, and so it is. And so it is our time now for gracious giving, for sharing the abundance that is in our lives. And we have our abundance statement that is on the screen, and it reads, in recognition of the presence of God within as the source of my abundance, out of my abundance consciousness flows everything I could desire in a life. With gratitude and thanksgiving, I now participate in the flow of uninterrupted abundance. I release this visible supply, an outer symbol of my inner supply, into the physical world. This prosperous experience is evidence of my abundance consciousness. And we have on our screen the multiple ways that you may continue to support our community. And I am so grateful for the loving kindness that is shown through all of the contributions that we receive. They allow us to continue to improve on our class offerings, to improve on our web capabilities. And I'm happy to announce that I have been in contact with a donor who is gifting to us some equipment to use in conjunction with our technology. And making connections now. Hopefully I will pick this up during the week, and our tech team will have an opportunity to look at what is compatible with what we currently have and identify where it is that we need to expand. And through your generosity, we are able to continue to up-level our experience and bring you just the word of good news from the virtual community that happens to be located in Monterey, California. And I invite our Facebook and YouTube family to join us for our April series, which begins on next Sunday. And the theme for the month of April is stepping into the unknown. Stepping into the unknown. And this really is a continuation of our practice of visioning. We step into the unknown. And our talk title for next Sunday is The Path Less Traveled. Remind me of the book, I may have to go and look it up, by Scott Peck, The Road Less Traveled. A very intriguing and a very exciting book. If you haven't read it, I offer it to you as really a place of inspiration. So as we bid adieu to our Facebook and YouTube communities, remind you to just drop a note in the comments section, letting us know where you're watching from and the time that you're watching, so that we are able to connect and just know that you are loved, and you are loved.